Yo, what's up, Hollow Cult? Welcome back to Wednesday. Wednesday again.
It's been a nice short week for me.
Nice.
Yeah, no babysitters, so I had to take a couple days off work.
You earned it.
Enjoying a nice little staycation with the fam.
When you got to go back?
Tomorrow.
Womp womp.
I know, it's going to be ultra hot.
Yeah, you picked some good days to go back.
Right? And what do you think about all the sweet air quality here of late?
Yeah.
Hasn't that been
Nice.
strange?
Yeah. Whenever I got ready to go inside last night, I'm like, man, who is burning shit?
Dude, I thought
Apparently,
the same
it's
thing.
the entire country of Canada is doing
I thought the same thing. I was mowing and I noticed the haze start rolling in, and I'm like, man, somebody's got like burning a huge pile of leaves or something. And then I come inside and the wife told me about it. I'm like, what? It's so weird. And then now it's kind of cleaned up a little bit, but I have noticed there is an actual residue on my car.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's
I
always
thought it was
residue on
pollen
my-
at first.
from the Coke plant. But
Yeah, right. You'll have that.
that's why I don't have to worry about whatever's in the air, because my lungs are already just coated in the worst possible
That's true.
stuff.
That's true.
It's really a win-win for everybody involved.
Cool.
But it was, even when I was at work today, like over top of the pollution that we create was more pollution. So it was
really
solid.
strange.
Pretty solid.
Really strange.
Hope everybody else is having a good weekend. Again, anybody here in the Midwest and probably all over the fucking place is going to be hot end to the week. We got triple digits coming in tomorrow, so that should be dope.
It'll be cool.
Yeah, and that's your hollow forecast. You're welcome. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, notifications, all that YouTube stuff. Do all that. Share the show. You know how it is. The more people in the Hollow Cult, the better. What else we got going on? I can't remember. My week's been fucking crazy.
A jumbled mess.
Yeah, it's been wild. Been wild. What are we gonna talk about? What kind of weird shit's going on?
An update since the last night shift. I mean, sure, at this point everybody knows about it, but the old sub didn't make it.
No. Oh, that brings up an interesting point here. So I've been
figured
reading.
it might.
Yeah, I've been reading that the Navy picked up the sound of the sub imploding on Father's Day, Sunday.
Yep.
So RIP billionaires and their family. But if everybody remembers correctly, well after that Sunday when it imploded, they were picking up banging from around the Titanic that they thought was coming from the submarine. So if it wasn't the living people in the sub doing the banging, then what was it?
There is that. I didn't think about it like that. I just figured that was a lie, to be honest, because they drug it on for how many days? At least 3 days. And supposedly there was a lot of interesting shit going on in the world that they may have been a part of covering up. So I think some emails got released. There were some pretty crazy ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, and I apologize for that. But I know that it covered up some very particular things in the news cycle.
Yeah, it was a big story. It was a big story.
Yeah, and I mean, even on like a humanity level, like just withholding that information is just dumb. You're giving people false hope.
Yeah, I read that they said that they couldn't stop the search based on the sound alone. They said that would look irresponsible.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. That does make sense because you do need visual confirmation.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just, well, we think we heard it. Now we're going to roll out.
Yeah. That's what they're going with. I just want to know if the ghosts in the Titanic were like signaling them, like, yo, they're down here, coming clean this mess up.
Maybe.
It's
It's
been
been
interesting
hot
week.
though. It's been hot.
Yeah. And the whole fake coup in Russia and all that shit. You see all that?
No.
Wagner's troops turned and decided to march on Moscow.
Yeah. We were
And then
talking about that.
Yeah, after that, they are like, nah, we're good. We'll just everything's square. Don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, that's
anything to keep us distracted, man.
What else? I saved some stuff to my phone. I gotta find it though. So talk amongst yourselves.
I did stop anybody in the SDL area, or you ever pass through St. Louis, anything of that nature. There's a cool little pizza joint called La Pizza. Look it up. That it's fantastic. We stopped in there today and grabbed a massive, like 18-inch pizza. We devoured that, and then I picked up another one for leftovers the next couple of days.
Nice.
So
That's an unpaid promotion too, La Pizza.
No, it's a straight shout out, man. It's a great pizza joint. It's a little bit hole in the wall, man. Oh, dude, dope. Chasing Mound Builders is going to be in STL tomorrow.
Oh, nice. You going to Cahokia?
You get a second, drop in there, grab yourself some pizza. Thanks, Darth.
Oops. What am I doing?
Spazzing out.
I don't know. It was getting fucking wild.
Oh, Brother John coming in for the colonization.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know he was looking for a spot. I guess we better start.
We're gonna have to buy a planet.
That'd be cool.
I did see they did another interview with our whistleblower friend here lately, and there were some interesting things that he said. Dr. Disclosure on Twitter released a tiny little snippet of the back and forth between it, and it's pretty interesting. I shared it on there. He said, "Are you threatened by what you're putting out now?" And Grush said, "I can't comment on that, but very unpleasant things have happened, both on a personal and a career level." So he's already getting the smoke from what he's saying.
Well, I mean, you figured that's going to happen.
Yeah. Why are you ringing the bell now? It says, "I know that the U.S. Department of Defense is withholding crucial information from Congress, especially the possession of UAPs and alien remains by our Secret Service. They refuse to share crucial information and deny its existence. It is even criminal to withhold this from your drivers. That's why I started ringing the bell." How are you able to do that? Do you have some sort of security clearance? This is partly due to the NDAA Whistleblower Act, which guarantees the protection of whistleblowers. I filed my complaint in May of 2022, had an intelligence officer testimonial drawn up.
I don't buy that, by the way, because we've seen the whistleblower stuff get removed anyways.
Yeah, I think
that happened to Snowden. That's why Snowden's not around.
It makes me wonder if it's just like a bait to get people to come out that know shit.
Oh, dude, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's a good one. Little carrot on the stick action.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I mean, like legitimately, if that dude has that type of clearance, unless it's just hyper compartmentalized, but if he has that type of clearance, if he's in the know-how, all that jazz, he should know the links that the government will go to cover up them secrets, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, in no way, shape, or form should he be coming forward with information because on this like self-justice bullshit. Like, I'm gonna do justice for all. No, you're not. It's either there's something in it for you, or you are part of the plan, my friend. Whether you know that or not. That's my opinion. Not that it's valid. I just don't see many people putting on that burden and wearing it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe on select days you're gonna do that. You're gonna think to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna be the hero. I'm gonna be the hero. Are you? You crazy? We love you.
God damn, every
Homie
time.
he comes in hot.
Dude.
It's much appreciated.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, most people aren't going to put that armor on and wear that, because that armor is going to turn to a lead weight real goddamn fast, and you're going to be sinking to the bottom.
Unless he's trying to lead the charge with all these people coming out with shit. You know what I mean? Maybe there's enough people getting ready to talk that they can't get them all. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them going heavy public.
But what's the payoff in the end for him? Just to bring down the government, to bring down the classified information, the CIA, the FBI. We've seen how that turns out when you start taking cracks at them.
Maybe the information that they're withholding is such a detriment or such benefit to humanity that they're just trying to force their hand to come clean with it.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like essentially martyring themselves.
The only way I see that happening is like the only logical way I see that happening to make yourself that martyr is it has to be really fucked up. Like bad. Something that makes you not sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, dude,
Which
think about it.
Very
Think
well
about
could be.
Because how old is the dude? He's pretty young yet, right?
36, I think.
36. So think about it. That's our age. Would you gladly offer yourself up to the wolves over free energy? Or some dumb shit like that? That's what I'm saying. So the payoff isn't there, because he's not going to get paid. You know nothing logically positive is going to come from him coming forward, other than the fact that he gets to wear this notch on his belt of saying, hey, I'm the one that disclosed this information. Other than that, there's not shit. Well, you might get a documentary made about you that most likely is going to slander you. 90% of the people, even if you have hardcore evidence, 90% of people are still going to dismiss you as a fake.
Yep. And I mean, I don't know, man. Essentially, like, a lot of this shit this guy's coming forward with is almost hearsay, so to speak. You know, like, I heard this from the guy that saw the photo, or I heard this, I read this in the document that so and so had. You know, it's not.
And if that's the case,
It's
why
not
don't
a
you just
whole
get on
lot.
fucking 4chan and leak it that way, like everybody else does? Because
Yep.
I mean, in a roundabout way, that's still you doing your part. If you feel it that necessary to get that information out there, that's still kind of you doing your part. Because the ones that are gonna believe are gonna believe. The rest of them are just gonna 100%. It's gotta be a smokescreen. It's either a smokescreen or something that is 100% unavoidable. But at this point, if you really think about it, if it's unavoidable and this guy's quote unquote coming out whistleblowing, that still makes the government look bad, right? Or am I missing a spin on that?
No,
Because that's still them, that like by him whistleblowing, that's not the government coming out and telling us, which they would want to be daddy figure and do that. That just makes them look dumb, because now you have inside employees coming out going, no, this is the right thing to do. We need to tell people. So that makes the government enemy number one, unless that's the fucking plan anyways. I don't know.
yeah, they spent the last fucking 70 years telling us that UFOs didn't exist.
Right.
And now, then they come out in 2017, whatever the hell it is, and the TikTok drops, and then they come out and they're like, well, actually, they do exist. So,
Just throwing that out
what
there.
time were you lying?
Right.
You know, like
Right.
when were you being honest? Now we don't fucking know what to believe.
Oh yeah, exactly. It completely sows more mistrust and more uncertainty. Like, I mean, we've talked about it. I know we have.
Yep. Bob Dacular says anything or anyone that makes the news was meant to be seen by those that own the thing broadcasting, be they a part of it or unaware themselves.
I agree. And I think, what is it like? All the news companies are owned by like 4 different people or something like that, 2 to 4, something crazy. And then you see clips of them all reading the same script. I mean, come on. And what was it, Bob? That's a great point, man. It really is. It's the nail on the head, because they're not going to put shit on there that they don't want to get out. It's just that simple. You'd have to just try. You'd have to, like, even if you hijacked it, they're going to cut the feed.
Yep.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate the donation.
And I mean, then that brings into question Snowden and shit.
Like, oh, absolutely. I've heard Snowden's a fake. I heard the whole thing's a fake. And I forget. Yeah. Oh, man. I think it was on a podcast called The Propaganda Report. Pretty cool little podcast if you're into that type of shit. They do a good job. She broke it down, and I can't remember the details on it, but the way she broke it down is what got my head spinning in that direction, where I'm like, oh man, if that's the case, I didn't even see it coming. But I mean, it's another great point, because we all know, I mean, assuming, which I believe they do, the CIA and all them have the reach they have, the NSA, CIA, all of them. Why is Snowden still alive? Yeah, whether he's in Russia or on the moon.
Yep. 100%.
You know, the United States would gladly nuke the moon if they had to.
Yeah. Yeah. They
just to prove a point.
They kill people that are in their way. Wow. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Is what it boils down to.
Yes.
Like everybody said in the chat, if they want shit kept under wraps, guess what? It's kept under wraps.
Exactly. Great. I started a new conspiracy.
They already nuked that. That's true.
Snowden on that moon base.
Yeah. He rode the nuke to the moon.
Good. I love it, man.
It is. I was just sitting out in the backyard on the tree swing thinking about it the other day. I'm like, what is this that we're living in right now? Like, what?
It's not real.
Hell?
It's not real anymore. I use as best the logic as I can, and I can't figure out a lot of the shit that's going on.
On that note, keep this thought train going. I guess people are taking pictures of Tom DeLonge he's on tour with Blink right now.
Tom DeLonge is slowly becoming your dude. He's your dude.
Bro, he needs to get on the fucking show. Anybody that has any hookups, anybody that has any connections with Blink 182 or To the Stars or any of that shit, tell them we need to talk. We need to talk. But apparently, people have been taking pictures of old boy here, and
he's an alien.
He's writing disclosure on his guitars as he's playing live.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty fucking punk rock.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna hate him for that.
Pretty fucking punk rock. But this one, I'm gonna try to read his handwriting. It says, in the early 50s, the best and the brightest met with the others in the NMCC under the Pentagon. We had to decide one of 3 things. Do we surrender? Do we go to nuclear war? Or hopefully something in the middle? And the NMCC is the National Military Command Center below the Pentagon.
So why are they trying to go to war?
with whatever the fuck is out beyond us.
Interesting. I still don't know how I feel about the guy, but that in itself right there.
In his defense, he's
Pretty
been writing about
gangster.
getting abducted by aliens for a long time.
Oh yeah, he's been crazy forever.
I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, dude, he very well could be the you've seen Independence Day, right?
Oh yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
crazy
He's gonna be the one to
duster.
save the planet.
Yeah, he's the duster pilot.
Yeah, he's gonna be the one to save the planet.
Yeah. That's who. Yeah, I mean, I did good with that. That's a good one.
Mhm.
He's the duster pilot.
Yeah. Oh,
But I dig that move, Tom. If you hear this, I appreciate you
Somebody
writing
get this to
disclosure on your
Blink-182.
guitar. That's pretty gangster.
Everybody start tagging Blink-182 in the chat.
That's pretty gangster.
Tom DeLonge, dude, that's the way to do it too. It's the way to do it. Just quiet, under wraps. It's yeah, Randy Quaid. Thanks, Twiz. But it makes I don't know, man. Like I don't fucking know. I don't know anything at this point. I don't even. I just
Nothing's real anymore, man. People are.
even if it was, they'd lie to us about it.
Yeah, it's got to be some type of consciousness manipulation, CERN bullshit.
Yeah,
the collapse compression of timelines. There's some crazy shit going on because the people are nuts.
And he's like Aaron says here, he's on the consciousness train. He's been pushing that for a while, and now everything's kind of going that route. Like
it is weird.
That's the connection. That's what makes us different. I don't know. I do not know. And then it makes you like, especially all the shit that we look into, and I know everybody in the chat's all into the same stuff too, but then you're like, what is real? What's not real? They've got us so jumbled up. Like a UFO could land outside in my yard when we were signaling it while you were smoking out at night. It could have landed, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know if what we're seeing is legit, bro.
At that point, it doesn't matter because we're about to get a sweet UFO trade up for the 07 Grand Cherokee and the damn Holopalo.
Holopalo. I just covered it in Bigfoot stickers too.
Good. They'd appreciate that. They'd appreciate that.
Something else, let me tell you.
Yeah. And work and shit would understand if we couldn't make it to work because we didn't have cars. We traded it. We traded up for UFOs.
We did. That would be a trade up.
Yeah, and then we could trade it for something else, maybe like a Lambo or something.
Oh shit! I saw another like 4chan whistleblower going off about he was an abductee, and he was talking about time and multiple timelines and shit, and if this dude is trolling, he's in deep. He is in deep. Because I was trying to follow. I was driving to work this morning or yesterday morning, whenever. Someday that I went to work.
Big head thought that it requires the big head.
Yeah.
So I just go melt my. I'm not even gonna be able to read shit like that.
Yeah, about time, like time not being linear. It's all happened at the same time, but we can successfully, like we live the same life infinitely, but through our consciousness, we can make different decisions to change the timelines on the fly, but we haven't learned how to do that yet, but we're doing it subconsciously.
That sounds like almost like the yellow cube. That's
what I was thinking. I'm like, it's weird that all this shit's coming out at the same time.
Yeah. Yellow cube, but it's already inside us.
Yeah. It's our consciousness. Oh damn, we hit 100 in the chat.
Been a minute.
That's because we're fucking getting wild. Somebody needs to teach me how to harness consciousness so I can essentially time travel and be successful.
We could start looking into that.
How? Okay.
Because they say sleep paralysis is the entryway to astral projection.
I did see a book when I sent you. Anybody in the St. Louis area, there is a half price bookstore in St. Charles, right off Sunbelt. my favorite place to go because they have like a paranormal section. It's just back in this little nook, but they have some like old ass paranormal books in there, like the old shit, and I always buy them just because that's another addiction of mine is buying books. But they had a Missouri Mason handbook in there, which I thought, I'm like, man, if they're just throwing this is not a very good secret society if I can go to the used bookstore and get all your secrets. But it was only like fucking 20 pages, so I wasn't gonna pay money for it. But also, I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, it had a guide to astral projection that I did not buy.
You should have got that.
Bro, I don't get enough sleep now. I cannot astral project
Bro,
while I'm
you
supposed
could
to be
astral
resting.
project and do cool stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably just have to
We
go
could
to work.
find what's on the other side of the ice wall.
Yeah, or they'd make me go and clean buildings at work. Astrally.
But that technically that mean you work from home.
Unpaid.
Fair trade, right? Fair trade.
Unpaid?
No, you totally get paid for that shit. You're doing work. Just because you learned a new secret power doesn't mean that they can't pay you for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I need to do. Project myself to sleep.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll be confused, but that'd be cool.
Oh, now we're getting on. Now the chat has went from
they were fighting about
Disclosure.
music.
Yeah, disclosure to Blink-182 lyrics. Now we're into astral projection. Astrally cool stuff.
Don't get all mad over Blink-182. They're not worth getting mad over.
No.
At all.
I didn't say invite him on so we can talk about his music.
Yeah.
All right. Said invite him on because we want to know how to unlock the secrets of our consciousness so we can operate the reverse engineered UFOs.
See,
Tom.
that's perfect. I couldn't have worded it better.
Well, we're not even asking at this point. You have an obligation to the paranormal community to come on our show so we can ask you the real questions.
I'm with that.
None of this government quietness and NDA shit. We need the real questions asked.
Yeah, and no, I don't know if you said this or not because I spaced out there for a second, but no riddles. We don't want no riddles. None of this like alluding to answers. Just tell us what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just annoying. We don't like riddles. We don't like all that dumb shit.
Pretty fucking boring. So go do something cool. You fucking nerd. You probably like Blink-182 and just bounce.
I don't care.
Sometimes I can't help myself.
Go listen to Lorna Shore.
That took a turn. But anyway, yeah. Somebody get him on.
Yeah, I'm into it. I would have a conversation with the guy. I don't know how up or down it would be, but no, let's not talk about punk bands, old punk bands.
they're just getting way off here.
Yeah, Kyle, I have tried reaching out to Will to see if he'd come on the show. Oh, Chucky, way better suggestion. Get Fred Durst on the show.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Would be awesome.
That would be the best.
It would be epic.
The show would be way less boring if we had Fred Durst and Tom DeLonge on here.
Oh shit, that would be cool as hell.
That would
be cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we could definitely try.
Yeah, we've messaged a lot. Vincent from the Acacia Strain. No.
Yeah. I throw Hail Marys all the time.
I messaged Marilyn Manson because
I bet he's into some weird shit.
Yeah. Dude, I watched him on like Celebrity Ghost Stories or some shit. One of those stupid like shows they did in the late like 2010s. Bro, his story explains a lot as to why he's the way he is. So,
Oh, God damn it.
I knew it. I knew there was going to come a time where there
Love
is
it.
intergalactic intercourse.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. Truth Fury. I seen your comment. That made me chuckle. Made me chuckle.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
love it.
I think that's why they're not doing disclosure. Because we as humans
Are
the
into weird shit.
worst. Yeah. They would land and we would ask 3 things as to whether or not they were going to survive. Can we make money off of you?
Yeah, factual.
Can we have intercourse with you?
Factual.
Or can we eat you?
I don't. You really think people would want to eat
Bro,
aliens?
we eat every fucking thing else on the goddamn planet.
Well, some of us do.
Yes, they're true.
Some of us do.
Yes, they're true.
I'm not trying to eat no alien.
What if they're delicious?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not trying to eat aliens. No way.
I think that's what it boiled down to. Here you are. What do you have to offer? And if you can't take one of them 3 boxes, nuke.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would like to. It would be cool to get somebody in the music scene to maybe disclose a little bit about all the occult shit that goes on. And I'm not talking about that's fucking factual. I hate that that's real. But not speculate. I know a lot of guys out there will speculate on this, that, and the other, but it would be cool to like blatantly get someone on that is like, no, this is what I did. Like, and believe me or not, I don't give a fuck because it doesn't matter because it worked. You know, like when we were listening to that dude on TikTok and he was talking about the Island Boys and how they made deals, they made pacts.
Dude,
And they was in hot water for a minute.
I know music as a whole, and especially heavy music, is full of imagery, but whenever it comes in waves came out, like that album is ridiculous.
That's why I wanted to. That's why I reached out to him.
It came out it dropped December of 2019, right before COVID hit, and just the lyrics, you're like, man, this is pretty sus, you know. And then when they went in 2022, when they went and performed the album from front to back on their tour, like the lead singer was like smudging the crowd as he was like reciting shit and stuff. Remember those videos I was showing you?
Yeah.
Like that shit is
so it's a bare minimum, dude at least has a tidbit of knowledge into the lyrics that he put into that album. You know what I mean? He at least looks into the subjects.
Yeah.
But it does seem to have a little bit more behind, a little sustenance.
Yeah. I concur. The Island Boys are douchers.
I tried reaching out to see if he would want to talk about that album specifically. But I don't even think I got an acknowledgement, so he probably just didn't even read it.
He's probably not allowed to talk about it.
I can see that.
He's probably made pacts with beings that are well beyond.
No bueno.
I did find a case today that is very interesting.
Good.
That I need to research and write because it's fucking whack, for lack of a better term.
That's a very controversial description right there.
I need to dig into it. I heard it driving to work today, so I'm like, dude, we gotta.
Like whack is good or bad?
No, like yes, both. It starts.
I don't
It's
know if I've
another
heard
one.
it described as both. Usually it's one or the other.
It's another one of these. It's another one of these. Start out as like poltergeist hauntings, kind of like the
Oh,
Andrews
dude.
family,
But it's
and then
definitely aliens.
it just goes off the rails.
Good.
Even
I like
like
those.
off the rails.
I like those.
And
I
I
like
actually
those.
I found a couple of them.
Well, get on it. Let's get it.
I gotta write them. You know, it takes a long time.
No, it doesn't take that long.
Long enough.
Okay, it does. It definitely does take long enough. I still have to write mine.
Yeah, I have to do one too.
And it's hard.
Oh man, this is he's still banging a hundo in here.
That's
Sheesh.
weird.
You guys are wild. And here we are just not talking about anything important whatsoever.
Stay
Let's see,
tuned. We got some
I gotta roll
important
back on
news
this.
dropping in the near future, so be aware of that.
Who was the guy that ate a 747? I am not sure, but I bet it took him a minute.
Yeah, I'd be impressed if he ate an entire 747. That's dedication.
Yeah. Did he eat it in one sitting?
Oh, if he did that puts
Or
him
was it
on a
like a
whole new
month
level.
worth of meals?
I imagine it probably took him a couple of years.
Yeah, hit the like button. There's 100 in here. Everybody, that's all. That's the least you could do. You know, hit the like button. Tell us we're boring.
It happens.
Took him 2 years to eat it. I love that this is a real thing. See, if the idea that we would not try to eat aliens, just like this proves it.
No, some weirdos are going to try to eat aliens. I'll agree to that. But this one, me, I'm definitely not trying to eat no alien. I'll suplex one if it comes down to it.
I can get behind that. See,
but I ain't trying to eat it. Mm-mm.
oh
No,
yeah, let's
no,
talk.
no.
Speaking of suplexes, we're just gonna keep rolling because we just do whatever the hell we want to do because that's what we do. Elon versus Zuck cage match coming up. They're both training. What thoughts and discussion
What is Elon training? Is he training in the Force?
with George St. Pierre?
Elon's training with George St. Pierre.
I can't back that up, but maybe.
So this is a hypothetical question.
Well, they have beef now. There's like legit beef. Elon threatened him. Zuck said, "Tell me where." And now it's becoming a thing.
Man, you guys are all crazy. I'm putting money down on Zuck.
Here's my
odds.
prediction, right? Here's my prediction.
I'll take them odds.
We get to about round 3. And
see, Darth knows what's up.
Zuck transforms into a 12-foot reptilian. That we all know he is. It's going to happen.
Pretty fair point.
It's going to happen. And at that point, everybody thinks Elon's going to be out. What we aren't thinking about is his Neuralink, which he's going to activate.
That's what we're not thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It needs just to be the NWO intro. But once Elon activates his Neuralink, he's going to automatically have a mech suit. Then it's going to lead to the end of the world because you're going to have Zuck leading the reptilian army from underground. Elon's going to activate the AI army, and we're just going to be caught in the middle.
See, that shit just went way more south than I anticipated.
Yeah, we aren't ready.
I thought we was just going to do straight up Elon versus Zuck. Not all this crazy transformation,
it's who they are,
mech
man.
suits, fucking Iron Man army shit.
It's who they are. Neuralink's getting activated. Neuralink already has the nuke codes. Then what are we gonna do?
Essentially, then Elon will be like the Predator, man. If the Predator loses, the Predator wins.
Yeah.
He just activates his nuke and he just nukes everything.
If Elon loses, Elon wins. What if? Well, yeah. Yeah. Did they have to fight in the metaverse? Can we get him to fight in a submarine at the Titanic that's run by a knockoff PlayStation controller?
Probably.
Nice.
Probably. Well, fuck.
Just-
It's derailing fast.
yeah, we're sorry. There's 110 people in here. For people who haven't been in here before, you know what? Actually, this is the norm. This is what you get. So, sorry about you. Oh, too soon. My bad. My bad. They're billionaires are billionaires to me.
Vin Diesel on the Transformers will save the Earth.
Dude, I mean,
fucking love it.
I hate it here. It's never too soon. Yeah, and if we don't get Joe Rogan to call that fight,
oh, he would in a heartbeat.
Don't have it.
He would in a heartbeat.
Just don't have it. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
What about Whitley?
Billionaire butt chugging.
God, there's so much stuff going on in the chat that I don't even understand.
Yeah, I don't know where we went wrong. I don't know.
You can't.
Dana White wants to pay-per-view it. $100. That's a steal to watch those two idiots beat the shit out of one another.
I would pay it. I would pay that.
Whitley Strieber. Did we miss something about Whitley?
I don't know.
Some new stuff?
Listen, you guys have to stop holding me to such high standards. I don't have any news cycles going on in my life at all anymore. Nothing. The only bit of news that I hear about is either from my wife, Steve, or what people send me on Instagram. So I can't do it. And it's made me a happier person. So I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be overtaken by your guys' bullshit.
Whitley Strieber interview on Weaponize. I have not heard that yet. So I'll have to listen to it.
Same. I'll try to catch that tomorrow morning on my ride to work.
We could be guest MCs at the fight. That'd be sick. We could go in with steel chairs. How many Elon AI robots and Zuctillions do you think we could take out with a steel chair before we're overran? What's the over under? How many think we can get in?
I love this intro into the chat. That's the best. What's up, fart knockers?
Actually, that highlights highlights this today.
That was good. That was good. I appreciate that.
That's solid. Solid.
What a first appearance.
Coming in hot.
What a first appearance.
I do think you guys need to do introductions when you come into the chat.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
We could stream it. The fight.
So, quick question before we go to the phone lines.
Kyle's trying to bring it back in.
Quick question. By a show of hands here, because I know all of you can raise your hands. Would you or would you not want to meet and greet with me and Steve in the future? Show of hands. That's all you have to do is just do that. I hope you're all sitting at home just going.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a couple. Cool.
That's just knowledge for our own brains that we're thinking about.
Yeah. Something like that. Something like that.
That's good.
Something we can't talk about currently, but
signed an NDA.
Yeah, there may or may not be things in the works in the near future that you may or may not find out about, like pretty quick.
That's the NDA.
Appreciate the donation. Much love. Darth, that may or may not be on the table.
Which would we rather fight? 100 duck-sized Zuctillions or one horse-sized Zuctillions?
I'm going duck size. That'd be way funner.
100 of them?
Yeah, I'll fuck them up.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
I can get with that.
Oh
yeah, phone lines. I'll pop these. We're already like 45 minutes in.
Yeah, you guys want to talk to us? You guys want to talk about some stuff or what?
Yeah, let's talk about some weird shit.
I mean, you can.
Let's get the actual weird shit rolling back in.
Zuctillions. If you are a reptilian, call us.
Oh, please.
If you are AI, as in artificial intelligence. I mean, if you're Appalachian intelligence, you can call us in. You can call us too. But
yeah,
if you are Zuckerberg,
it's probably factual.
Why didn't I? That was right there, and I missed it.
Oh, Jason Mound. Yeah, I'm in on that. We'll have to get them tag team belts forged.
Hell yeah!
Quick.
Pay us. I would fight them both for 1/100th of their wealth apiece. 1/1000th. You know what? Just for like $70.
I will fight him for sure.
New cryptocurrency, Zuctillions. Hell yeah, let's create it, back it, cash out, and get rich again.
Right on. No, I'm not eating mushrooms. It's not happening. I'm not into all that weird shit.
I'm not into the weird shit.
No, man, because I know how dreams are. I don't fuck with dreams. I'm the dude that wakes up from dreams and I'm convinced that shit was real.
Dreams are weird, man.
That's what I'm saying. And I can only imagine what it's like to trip. I'll be the dude in the corner crying because I'm seeing fucked up stuff.
It's like,
and I can't control it.
You have a dream about some shit and it just messes up your entire day. You're like,
that's what I'm saying.
And that's completely sober. They're going on. Machine dwarves.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think, Steve? Would you take psychedelics? Like in a real world?
Yeah.
No funky shit.
I guess it depended on. Well, it depended on who I was around and where I was. So I'm thinking like DMT just to see. Like if I have a chance to talk to Machine Elf.
You're down?
Yeah.
Right on. Let's take this call and then we'll reconvene.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome to the night shift.
Caller, would you do DMT?
Okay, thanks for hanging up. I appreciate you. Much love.
Much love.
They said, fuck that. I want to hear that answer.
So apparently not. That's not the way you answer a phone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Brother John just offered to dose you, bud.
I appreciate that. But I don't know. I think I'd have to be in the right mind, in a curious state, not more of like an anxiety-ridden state, because I know what my anxiety will do at times when I let it go crazy. But anyways, here we're to a caller. Thanks for calling the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
What's up? Not currently. Steve, can you hear him okay?
Real quiet.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah, that works. That works.
Okay. I was trying to use my Bluetooth, but that's not working.
Right on.
Hey, I called you guys a couple weeks ago, and what did Tony call it? My thirsty witch story.
Oh yeah. That was a cool story too, man.
Yeah, no, but I figured I call back and just tell another story. But so this happened about 7 years ago, and I was camping. Actually, I sent you guys an email about this a while ago, but I figured to just call. But I went camping with some some buddies, or couples, more like couples, and then I was with my wife, and we went in Washington, this place called Wenatchee. There's a lot of campsites out there out in the wilderness, but there's this road called Chihuahua River Road, and there's a bunch of like kind of like car camping kind of stuff down that road. It's on the water, and it gets kind of crowded, but if you just keep on going to the end, it eventually turns into a gravel road, and no one goes out there, and there's really cool camp spots out there. And actually, if you go all the way to the end, you go to an old ghost town you kind of explore, so that's pretty cool. But so we're down there camping, and it's like Friday night. We get in. It's kind of a drive, takes a while. And these are like buddies I've known my whole life. And the couples, it's pretty chill. We're just having a couple beers, sitting by the fire, eat some hot dogs, and kind of had a earlier night. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. We didn't go crazy. We all go in our tents, and we kind of scattered our tents in different areas. It was, even though there's camp spots, since no one's there, you can just kind of camp anywhere. My wife and I camped right on the water there, and so it was like in the middle of the night, I just like shot up out of my bed. Like, usually when I wake up in the middle of the night, it's like a slow, groggy process, but this was like, it felt like some kind of an emergency, and I was just like, in my head, I was just like, I got to get out of the tent. And so I start unzipping my side of the tent, and I look, and my wife's up too, and she's unzipping her side of the tent. And, so I go outside, and the whole entire sky is like red, or no, sorry, more like pinkish orange. And it's like daylight bright. And this is, this is a nighttime. It's like, it's summer, but it's dark. And I mean, and you would think you would be, you'd be in that state of getting out of the tent, and you'd be like, what the fuck is going on, But I didn't even think that. I just was like, I got to go over there to that bush over there. I got to pee. That's what I got to do. That's all I could think about, is like, got to make this bush. And as I started walking, it was like, I couldn't walk straight. Like I was like stumbling, and and at one point it felt like I was going up an escalator. It was really strange. And my I go pee, I go back in the tent, and I still not thinking that's weird, even though it's like obviously the most bizarre thing ever. And the last thing I remember is I never remember being this tired in my life, and I passed out. And in the morning, I'm just kind of laying in the tent like, wow, that was weird. I was like, that felt so real. I was like, that has to be like a dream or something. And I started telling my wife my experience, and it was like a quarter way through, and she stopped me, and she finished the story. The exact same thing happened to her. She got out of the tent. She, the exact same thing. Like, she saw the same colors. She had a hard time walking. And yeah, it was pretty wild. And like, we have a dog too that is like one of those rescue dogs. It's like, oh, he's like on your heel no matter what you do, no matter what time. And I didn't think about this later, but that dog stayed in the car the whole time, or in the tent the whole time.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, it was really, really bizarre. And then that also that night, I don't know if this is before or after, but a freaking deer stepped on the tent. And like camping in tents, like that's like one of my weird like fears. I'm like, man, what if an animal steps on my head, But it actually happened. And like, once again, I was like, oh, that's a deer. I don't even know like why I thought it was a deer. I was like, oh, that's a deer. And it like nothing, like didn't feel afraid or anything like that, and just passed out again.
My oldest boy, I guess it's not necessarily similar experience, but he had similar symptoms, I guess. He was out fishing a couple years ago, probably 2020, down in Texas,
Yeah.
and him and his buddy saw a boomerang shaped craft over the lake, and they took pictures of it. And I asked him, like, did you have any missing time? Did you have anything happen? He's like, no, not really. He's like, all I could remember is that I've never been that tired as I was after we saw that. And
Wow.
it definitely reminded me of what you're going through.
That's weird. But and like, yeah, and like the fact that like both of us had the same experience, because you know, if she didn't say that, I would have just chalked it up to like, yeah, that was just like, I guess, a really vivid dream. But the fact that she had that, I mean, to me, that means that happened.
Yeah, corroborates each other's experience.
Yeah, in a weird way. Like it just,
Yeah.
it seems extra sussy that you guys both did the exact same thing, saw the exact same things.
Yeah, and felt the same way too. That's too,
Yeah.
like felt like she said the same thing. Like she felt like she had a mission. Like she had to go. She had to go over to pee in a bush, and I don't know if she was at the same bush or what. Like I don't even remember seeing her out of there.
It sounds like a screen
That is
memory.
weird. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it's just trying to
Yeah.
make you not pay attention to the fact that the sky looks like it's on fire.
Yeah, and like and then just feeling like everything's okay. Like you have to go there, but everything's okay.
Yeah,
You feel
really,
fine. Yeah, you're just tired.
really fucking weird.
Yeah, and like a few, like I've had a few people like you know, did you notice anything like the next day or anything different? Like did you feel? And I was like, no, not really. And then I was thinking about it for, you know, years, and I was like, actually, yeah, like that experience, like I feel like that was a catalyst that kind of put me on like some kind of like spiritual journey, spiritual path, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know if that's related, but I was also thinking about it. Like that could just be kind of what, like, almost like what conscious is being like when people are throwing around, like, you know, like all this consciousness. It's like once you start following, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's like, because that happened, it opened up my mind of thinking. I replayed stuff that's happened to me in the past, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like I've kind of like evolved from that. And actually, people always bring up the Bledsoe case, but I found their podcast and I was listening to it, and I don't know what it was, but that story, and it seems like a lot of people do, like really, like it felt very familiar, even though it's so different, and not even like their experience, but just kind of when they talk about like what was happening and like the way they project their voice and kind of like how they talk about it. And I started being like really pumped about it. And I was like, man, like this is a positive thing. And then I was like, I wanted more on it. And that's actually how I found your podcast. I was like, oh, let's see what these guys are doing. And like you guys like got me thinking like a different direction. And here's the weird thing though. When I started thinking of it as a potential of a negative, things got really freaking weird. My sleep paralysis jumped up so much. It was like, I mean, it was like a couple times a week. There was like a week where it was multiple times a night. There was times when like my whole body felt like it was vibrating, and like almost like a sound. And like there was times when I would wake up in different spots of where I was sleeping. Like when I snap out of sleep paralysis, I know I was sleeping like on the couch or the bed, and I'd look and I'd be like half standing up on a different section of the bed. And that happened after just kind of, you know, like hearing you guys talk about it and like putting some stuff into my mind, you know, like about like thinking the, you know, like just like thinking it through, like how are they so sure, you know? And so I don't know, like, and that was kind of like the conscious thing. Like it was like because I turned into like thought of it as a positive thing, is that what I was putting out there in the world, you know? And then when it's like negative, is that what,
Or
you know?
something didn't want you thinking of them in a negative light.
Yeah, totally.
Because a lot of weird shit happened to us when we put that out there.
Really? Like,
oh yeah,
specifically on that? Yeah. That's
absolutely.
Super weird.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on, man. It terrified us, because that's when I think wasn't Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that when our boys started seeing shit and it just started to spiral out of control?
Yep.
That's
whenever I don't know, it was crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
But at the same time, when it's spiraling, it's like, but it also opens you up to how do I say this? Be more curious and question things, you know? Like, I mean, like a lot of people I know, and like it seems like you guys, you know, like don't trust like the government and what they're doing and stuff like that. But it like after you start having experience, it makes you just start to question more things, and it's almost like you're just like people are just kind of waking up. Like that's like they're, you know, people say like spiritual awakening or whatever. It's almost like when I don't know. It's almost like it awakens you, and sometimes it forces you to see.
It's a slippery slope. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
I agree.
sorry.
I agree. It definitely can. I think it probably takes a special person to look at it the way you have, though. To be honest with you, and because I think some people would probably experience what you did and probably fucking freak out
Yeah.
and just shut the door on it because of and I think that's what happens to a lot of people as they get older, or just they're overall afraid and not trying to deal with the shit because we obviously have this thought process behind how some people are more sensitive than others. I'm kind of in the camp that we're all that sensitive, that we all can pick up on the paranormal. It's just some choose to and others don't. Some people are like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm trying to go to work. I'm trying to get me a Big Mac and go home and watch TV. I'm not trying to see aliens and shit and talk to spiritual beings, whether they're good or bad. You
No,
know,
yeah, I hear that, you know, but like, yeah, people don't want to think about like, just like, I mean, like, when was the last time you really sat down and just like looked at the ocean or the sky? You know, it's like, it's freaking crazy. Or if you know, it's you have kids, like just the fact that like, basically a miracle had to happen for everything to go right
right.
to have this baby that we take for granted. You know, it's just like
To,
whew, it's a crazy world.
To be alive, even like just to
To
exist.
breathe.
Dude, I
Breathing
love
oxygen from trees.
I love your thought process right now. I do. I love that. I really do, because I do that. I'll sit, like, when I saw the ocean for the first time, my brain just went, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy, absolutely crazy." Then you look at, like, you catch the night sky on certain nights where it looks crazy, and you're like, man, really, really try to wrap your brain around the fact that, like, in the grand scheme of things, our planet, as big as it is, we're literally like a grain of sand in a bigger beach.
I know, man.
You know,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Absolutely,
It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, and then once I started like just think about it more, it's like everything that I was super into, like my hobbies and everything like that, like it doesn't do it for me anymore. And it's like it's almost like it could come across as like, oh, you're depressed because like you don't want to do the things that you wanted to do anymore. But it's like I'm over that. Like I'm just like I'm off like the internet basically. Like I deleted Reddit, like all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, man, like it's just like I just go back to nature. That's I mean,
There is something to
it's
that.
so much cooler than than your phone or whatever, which but okay, I do want to say like one more thing about that was weird. So I read that Bledsoe book, and this might like lose some people because it sounds like crazy people talk, but ever since I was a kid, like up until like a young adult, I don't know what it was, but like I just had in my mind the world's gonna end or something horrible is gonna happen in 2026. And when I was reading that book, he says something just casually and mentions like other people see it also or something like that. What was that? I'm gonna butcher, but it was like a great event is gonna happen in 2026. And it freaked me out so much that I actually like messaged him, Chris, on like I messaged him or emailed him, and he was chatting with me. And then when I just said, when I asked him, what do you mean by that in 2026? He didn't respond after that. So take that what you will, because that's just like some dude that just randomly had this this number in his head. And I mean, I even remember being like, okay, I'll be like 42, that's like half my life, and like that. And it's like I remember even thinking like that as a kid, like, oh, that's that seems like good enough. But I don't know what that means. And then like And then you start hearing about like great resets and stuff like that. I was like, oh shit. But I don't want to freak anyone out.
I'll have to dig around, see if there's any other like meaning behind 2026. If there's anything else out there that people have tuned into. What was the date that? Man, what was it, Kyle? There was a specific date in 2020 that they couldn't see any further. You know what I'm talking about?
2012.
Was it 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah,
2012 was a big one for several different aspects we've dealt with.
I'll have to look and see if there's anything on 2026.
Yeah. I should probably look myself. And then just one more comment on one of your shows, like when you did that Majestic 12. Is that what it was?
The last one I talked about, Majestic 12, was Looking Glass. That would have been the last one.
No. What was the one that, like, it was like last month or 2 months ago?
Collins Elite, maybe?
Oh, yeah. And then there's that group, like, weren't they called the Majestic 12 or whatever? They would, the guys that would meet up and like kind of plan how they're gonna like take out these demons, basically.
Oh,
like the super group.
I can't think of what they were called.
Me either.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like it was like a 4-part series, and I was like, man, this is bad. Like I was like, man, like how crazy is it that this actually like makes more sense than a lot of stuff I've been hearing? And then at the very last episode, it was like they had a meeting how to force people into Christ.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, nope. And like you guys too, like, and like done, like discredited. But I was like thinking about it, and I was like, man, if that was real, and if I was with these 12 guys or whatever and really saw all that crazy stuff, because they weren't like that at first. They were trying to figure things out. They were doing drugs and doing whatever. They were trying to figure it out, and they came to a conclusion. But like, I mean, I know if it wouldn't be out of the possibility that'd be talked after experiencing all that stuff. And it's not the right answer, obviously, but I don't see why they would not consider that at that point.
Oh, I agree. Especially if it's already where your faith is. Maybe even if it's not your faith.
Well, I'm under the impression,
No, just seeing, like you said, seeing things like that you can't fucking explain, that's going to make you think a type of way real fast.
Yeah. And if you see real evil that's...
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this is not good. And I don't know. You start getting desperate, man. You start thinking way out of the box.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyways, love the show, guys.
Thank you.
I extra look forward to these Wednesday nights. So.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
We do too.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too, brother.
Bye.
Hey, weird friend.
I love it.
It is, man. It is weird that case in particular, the Bledsoe case, has reoccurring effects.
There's
similar effects on people.
Yep, someone else that kind of fell in the same camp that we did.
It's almost weird, like if you start pushing, like thinking outside the narrative box that's spun, shit
gets weird.
Yeah,
it gets weird.
It's like it tries to scare you away from thinking that.
Yeah.
Which isn't doing it any favors. If
No.
We're supposed to be beings of light and love.
And that's the thing is,
you're gonna scare me away.
Like you and me don't. We might have in the episode, but we talk shit. That's what we do. We're human, but we don't know what it is or isn't. We've said that countless times. We don't know if you're good. We don't know if you're bad. We don't know if you're impartial.
I know shit got fucky whenever we were talking about you, so
Right.
you're not that good in my book, but
Right.
everybody already knows that. So,
welcome to the night shift. What's going on?
Yo.
Hey, my name's Jonathan. First time calling in.
Awesome. How you doing?
Welcome.
Doing good. Hey, I heard you guys were talking about DMT. I made it one time for myself.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. Yeah, you can get the elements from eternityinabox.com, and it's some type of root, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of weird. You got to I did 11 candles around each person and burned sage, and all that kind of stuff, but I could never get don't want to say get high, but I could never get an effect off of it myself when I made it, but other people could. I had a friend who's seen his brother who passed on, and I had this chick hold a foxtail, and she had 2 foxes as her spirit guide and stuff. And I had a brother whose his wife is deaf, but she could hear music.
Oh,
She heard like
that's
fairies
weird.
singing to her. Oh, it was just out of this world, man.
It's
And
wild.
I want to, yeah. I wanted to tell you, man. I live in Kentucky around Mammoth Cave area. Have you ever heard of Mammoth Cave in
Yeah.
Kentucky?
Yep.
Dude, I've been experiencing the most. I bought some land on a river, and I live in a cabin out here, and I live right above the cave system. There's caves underneath me, and I've been experiencing the most weirdest shit out here since I've been living here. And I don't know if it's maybe the cave system. I don't know if it used to be called the happy hunting grounds for natives. So there's like native burials where there's piles of rocks. You ever seen big mounds of just rocks just sitting there? You ever seen those before? Those are sometimes those are Indian burials. I had a friend who buried one up. He had a buddy who buried one up. He's dead now, but he said he buried it. He dug up all the rocks, and he said after about 5 feet, it went to dirt, and then after about a foot of dirt. And you remember when you buried people back then, you buried it with rocks so the coyotes wouldn't get your body. You understand that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he found a skull into the ground. And because the reason why we brought this conversation, because I asked him, what the hell are these rock mounds all through here? And he said, well, I had a buddy who dug one up, and he said it was 5 feet of rock and then a foot of dirt, and he found a skull. He said he cleaned it off. This is dumb, I know, right? He brought it home, put it in his basement, and he started to have dreams of natives attacking him in his sleep. So he freaked out and brought it back where he found it and buried it. And I just thought, how dumb would you want to be to put a human skull in your house and think nothing's going to happen? You know? Anyways, don't try to make your own DMT, but if you're curious, you can go on a website called eternityiinabox.com, and they have supplements there and stuff that you can make it. But I got a couple of paranormal stories for you in Iraq or in the military if you want to hear real quick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, cool. Now, if you guys ever want to witness actual UFOs, you have to buy night vision goggles called PVS 14s. I don't know if you're aware of night vision. They're about $3,000 a piece. But if you legit buy a pair of those and look up at the sky, eventually you will see a UFO. If you want to see ghosts or paranormal stuff, you want to use thermals, which is heat signatures, changes in heat temperatures and stuff. You'll pick up on ghosts with that. But a lot of times, if you ask guys in the military, if they've done time over in Iraq and Afghanistan, you ask them about UFOs. Most of the guys in combat arms will say, yeah, I've seen them all the time, because you wear a night vision almost every night when you're pulling guard. You're going to see it. Now, at Fort Benning, we were doing a thing called like a table 12 where you do some training exercise, and it was at night. And my buddy was asking for me to come back to the Bradley, and he said he got his flashlight out and was looking around, and he seen something that was about my height come through the wood line, and it was like, open, imagine about something the size of a baseball field clearing, and everything around you trees. And he said he seen what he thought was me, and he said, hey Johnny, come on, we got to go. And all of a sudden he said he seen eyes start to glow when he scanned it with a flashlight, and he said it looked like a cat person, and when he seen it, it got on its belly and started to do like push itself back, like low crawl but reverse, and push itself back into the woods. And then I remember him telling me when he was at Fort Carson, he was again in a Bradley, and a Bradley has a tank commander on one side, and then a gunner on one side, and then up front on the side is a driver. And they're about, I don't know, I'd say about 12 to 15 feet tall. and he said he was driving in Fort Carson, and he said the tank commander turned, because you can stand on your seats when you're in the Bradley or the tank. If you ever see guys with like their waist standing up, it's because they're standing on their seats, so you can scan. And he said the tank commander scanned, looked to his left, and got back in and nudged the gunner and said, "Look to your left." And he said he turned and looked, and there was a Bigfoot about 10 feet off to the side of the Bradley walking with his head almost the same eye level as the guy in the Bradley while he's standing on the seat. And he said he turned and closed his hatch and said, "Don't tell nobody." And so I remember him telling me that he swore that they seen a Bigfoot at Fort Carson, Colorado. A lot of times, man, it was just better not to say nothing, because if you did, it could have brought attention to you. You never know. But I don't know if you guys have experienced anything paranormal lately. I think I have experienced something, just the way this dimension's shifting. It's just this whole timeline's weird. Time's going by quick. Your intuition's you're picking on people's energy real quick. There's no wait. You kind of pick up on somebody almost immediately nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, I had an argument with my neighbor over something silly, and that night, now remember, I live on top of Mammoth Cave. I had a dream that I was having an argument with a spirit or a demon, and I opened up a door and I said, "I command you to leave." And as soon as I said leave, my smoke alarm, and this is summertime, my air conditioner is running, started going off, beep, 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 and that's what woke me up. I'm thinking, what the hell? I couldn't even turn it off. I broke the damn thing in half because when you wake up in the middle of sleep, you hear a smoke alarm, you're like trying to break the sumbitch apart and try to turn the damn thing off. And I turned it off and went back to bed, and the thing went off. And about an hour later, I was thinking, what in the hell? I was like, this damn Mammoth Cave is crazy, man. They said that the rumor is there's a $1 million reward for Bigfoot out here. It's kind of a going joke, but I don't know how big it is. All I'm gonna say is, if you come across a Dogman or Bigfoot and you got a 15, it better have a 20-inch barrel, because that's the only way that 223 is gonna zing and punch something.
Man, I love it. I have noticed that too lately, though. Time seems to be moving extremely fast. It's really bizarre.
Yes, it does. Is it because we're getting older and we can comprehend time now?
Maybe. It just, I don't know. Sometimes, to me, it just feels weird how quick time has moved. I don't know. It could just be me. Could be. I mean, It might be something, but I don't know. I'm glad you say that, because there are certain days where I'm just kind of like, what the hell, man? I can't believe this year's already over or whatever. It just feels off.
Yeah, when you look at your favorite movies and you think they're almost 40 years ago now, and you're just thinking, damn, dude, I remember all these people were in their prime in their 30s and 40s, and now they're like, when Tom Sizemore died, I just thought, damn, dude, Tom Sizemore's dead, man. But,
crazy.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. But I was gonna say, man, in my opinion, I think we live in a reincarnation soul trap, because is the world really getting any better? It's a big loose farm, and when you die and you go to heaven, it's always the same thing. It's all light and love, and it draws you in, and then you go through a memory wipe, and then they put you right back here on this planet so that they can keep on feeding off of you again through a human body with pain, suffering, anxiety, stress, paying bills, taxes. It's just a never-ending cycle, and it's like, I mean, have we really progressed and gotten better as a human race, or is it just the same shit over and over again? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be negative, because we're all working men in this world, but it just makes you wonder, man. Has it gotten any better?
It's weird, dude. I've heard that theory before too.
Real questions. Yeah, I have too.
I mean, go ahead.
I said I've heard that too. The soul trap theory, that we're just we're just put here to keep being put here for whatever these entities are, to feed off of our fear and our sorrow and our hopes and everything that we hold dear, essentially.
Yeah, and then you think you got to keep on coming back to Earth until you learn. You got to reincarnate 1,000 times until you learn guilt. I mean, what kind of sick fucking joke is that? 1,000 reincarnations to learn something silly because some ascended master upstairs is telling you so. You're sovereign here on Earth, just as you are in the spirit world. That's all I can advise: is you're sovereign even in the spirit world, and don't be coaxed into your friends or family or loved ones and all that, because it's just another trap, man. But I ain't got the answers of what's after, because how are we supposed to keep on learn from the cycle if it's a memory wipe every time? If you study for a test and then you forget everything the next day, how the hell are you supposed to pass the damn test?
Valid point.
Yep.
All right, I don't want to hold you all up. I appreciate y'all taking my call, and
Absolutely.
just be grateful, guys. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Every
Peace.
day.
Later.
Every day. Be safe, friend.
Yep.
Dropping the knowledge.
I dig it.
Dropping that knowledge.
And like I said, we have heard that's a theory that is out there and running heavy in circles, that it is some sort of just soul reincarnation over and over again.
I hope that's not the case.
And if we go like that 4chan whistleblower said, that we essentially live the same life again and again. We have the ability to change it if we get to a specific point, but it has to do with our consciousness and has to hit that point to be able to
I
do
hate it. Oh, shit. Thanks for calling Night Shift.
Yo.
Hey, how are things?
Good. How are you?
I am good. This is Darren calling you from Ireland again.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It's nearly 3:30 over here in the morning, so it's yeah, I got to be up for work in like 3.5 hours. So yeah, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's the early morning shift over there.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just wanted to call back in. Again, I have a few other wee stories and a few other wee kind of things that have happened since the last time I spoke to you. The first thing that I wanted to say was just that the first caller, in terms, you guys were talking about just some people are kind of tuned in to kind of weird stuff and some people aren't. I know for me personally, for like the longest time, I was like, oh, I want to see something. I want to experience something. And I never did. Well, I thought I never did, but I think it comes a certain point where the person will be like, ready for it, to kind of, it's. I think that the brain or the mind or your consciousness need to be at a certain level before you can fully open it to experience these weird sort of things. But I definitely know for me, it was like once one thing happened, then I started to remember loads of other stuff from when I was a kid, and then more and more and more things started happening. So I definitely think you kind of have to tune in your brain or your thought process to just to be able to experience these things. And once you do, I think somebody said it in the chat there, or it could have been yourself, that once you kind of open it, it's difficult, if not impossible, to kind of shut it off again. So if you want to go down that route, you got to be prepared to kind of, stick it out for the long term, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the last time I called in, I was talked to you guys about that chip or that thing that was in my elbow that disappeared overnight. So I was kind of just for full transparency, because I didn't actually kind of think about it until afterwards. So I work for the Department of Defense over here. So I don't know if that if that muddies the waters further or clarifies things even more. But no, I don't have any faith in the Irish government to be able to pull off any sort of shenanigans like that. But in the wider scheme of things, it would just be an awful lot easier to keep an eye on your boy if he worked for the department, So no, it's a low level job, but I said I just wanted to be honest with you guys and let you know that, and I never put two and two together until afterwards. But it just, and I didn't work for the Department of Defence when this happened. I started working for them about about a year and a half, 2 years after it happened. So not a huge amount of time, but it could be nothing, could be something. But I said I'd let you know anyways.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
So as I said, I don't have any sort of major access to anything, or and I'd rather not give you the specifics of my role. But I'm just kind of low level stuff. But it just is something that may be linked, maybe not. But just as a sort of kind of a follow on from that. So recently I've had some sort of health issues. It's particularly to do with my hearing. I've had a dramatic hearing loss in one of my ears. Now, it could be from 20 years playing drums in metal bands, or it could be something else, but I had to go and get a scan because they wanted to just check to make sure that the both ears internally are the same. There's no damage to one and not the other. So I went for said scan on my head, my ears, and my neck. And so last week I got the call back from a consultant who had viewed my scans, and he said there's nothing. Thankfully, there's nothing sinister there. But I was like, okay, that's grand. It is what it is. It is probably just like loud music and going to gigs for 20 plus years. But he did mention something very strange that I thought I would mention. So he said that on the scan, and he's never seen this before, but he said there seems to be what he termed a void, a rectangular void underneath my tongue area that he doesn't understand what it is. He says it's probably a glitch in the scan, but he has never seen it before.
It's weird.
So it's like I thought like it was just some anomalous shape, whatever like that. But no, he said it's pretty much a like nice even rectangle would be directly underneath my tongue, out towards the front of my chin. So again, it was one solid scan. It wasn't like there was two scans and they were kind of stitched together out like that. So it kind of rules that out. But I'm trying to get a copy of the image. It's kind of difficult over here in Ireland. It's not so readily available. It's there's no link up between all the medical services. So to try and get actually copies of your scans and images and stuff like that. And I know on the last night shift last week you were talking about the implant in your mum's nose. But so it's kind of, if I can get the images, by all means I'll send them on. But I just thought I'd mention it. It's kind of just kind of coincidental that it was there's possibly something else there in my body that's not originally supposed to be there. But sure, we'll see what happens anyways.
That's wild,
fucking weird, man.
You say you went. What initially sent you to the doctor? Why did you get your ears and your head scanned?
I for about the last 9 months, I've noticed a very dramatic decrease in hearing in my left ear.
Okay.
That kind of worried me. So I went and got to the ENT guys, and they did sort of, you know, their checks and stuff, and they figured that they on their visual, that my eardrum on my left side was a different color to the eardrum on my right side. So they were just worried that there could be something sinister. So they sent me for a scan to make sure there was no tumors or growth or anything like that could be impinging on my hearing. But it doesn't explain why my hearing loss is there, but it's just kind of happened. So that's why I was sent for the scans.
Just eliminate the bad shit.
Yeah. Right.
I'd rather do that than kind of put my head in the sand and kind of hope that it goes away and cures itself, because usually that doesn't end well, you know.
Right, exactly.
But there is two other quick things that I will kind of just tell you about. So about 12 years ago, myself and my then partner saw UFOs. We were driving from where we lived about an hour and a half back to my home house. So we live in the west of Ireland. We did, and so it was November night. It was clear, frosty, crisp night. So the sky, there was no clouds in the sky. At about 9 p.m. So again, November, it was very dark, very early. And as I was driving, my partner was looking out the window and just did the usual, what the hell is that? And me being the UFO guy, I pulled over to the side of the road, got out, and in the northeasterly direction, there was a series of these, I can only describe them as lights because they were so far away I couldn't distinguish size or shape or anything like that, but there was these 5 little lights that were kind of moving around the sky. Then 5 became 6, and 6 became 7, and they were just kind of they were all kind of moving in their own sort of directions. They weren't straight lines. They were up and back and zigzagging, and some of them were going quicker than the others. And then they started kind of forming. So from being sort of all directionless, they kind of came together and formed like almost like a star shape. And then that changed into like a square or a rectangle, and then that changed into triangular shape. Now this all, like, it was slow. We were about 15 to 20 minutes standing here watching this. Then once it was in the triangular shape, then kind of one by one, they all just started blinking out and disappearing. And eventually, I said, after about 20 minutes, they were just all gone, and that area of the sky was completely blank. So, like, as I said, it was 12 years ago. I tried to get it on my camera phone at the time, but it was like trying to record a whole potato. Nothing came out. Now I know that the Elon Musk Starlink didn't come out until 2019, so this was well preceded that. But I just thought it was like, I can't explain it. Northeasterly direction, 5, 6, and 7 lights, creating different shapes, and then they all just blinked out. Like, they didn't zoom away or anything like that. It's just like somebody flicked the light switch one each time and just blink, 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 and they were gone.
That's so weird.
And it was weird. The weird thing was, like, we were there and we were kind of pointing and, looking, and like nobody else, and like loads of cars passed by and nobody else paid any bit of attention to this, which I thought was really weird. But they just kept driving, and we were like, how is nobody else seeing this? It was very, very weird. And I knew to check. There was no missing time. We were there for about 15, going on 20 minutes, watching this stuff before they blinked out, and then it was just like, oh well, better continue on with the journey then.
It's crazy that they're making shapes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Sorry?
I said it's crazy that they were making random shapes, like they were putting on a show.
Yeah, it was like, as I said, it was kind of like a star shape first, and then it became like a square, then into a rectangle, and then into like a triangle. It was like slow, methodical movement. It wasn't erratic. It wasn't like zipping here or there. It was just like, it was all done almost like it was almost like a dance. As if you could imagine there was music playing in the background. It was moving really slow until it got to the one shape, and then it would stay like that for a couple of seconds, and then slowly change into another shape, stay like that, and then slowly change into another shape. It was almost hypnotic, looking at it. It was something kind of beautiful about it, but it just, like, I couldn't explain it. And it was like, they were big enough to be able to see with the naked eye, but they were like far, far away. I couldn't tell you, even guess how far away or how big they were or what height they were at, but it was just, I could clearly see them. As I said, it was a clear night. There was no clouds, and you could see the stars, but like, these definitely weren't stars, and they weren't satellites, because satellites don't move like that. They weren't Starlink, because that didn't exist that we knew about. But yeah, and I searched like online, and I searched papers and stuff the following days and weeks and stuff, and there was no report of anything. Like, there is a website you can log sighting in Ireland, which I did, but there was nothing else there. It was just, and if it was by myself, I'd be kind of like, did I see it and question it? But no, it was because it was two of us there. We could both back each other's story up. We saw the exact same thing. We just thought it was very, very strange.
For sure. It's like I said, it's just weird to think that they were putting on a show at the same time using shapes that we're familiar with.
Yeah. And I know other callers have said this before, but it's almost like they knew. It was like they were just kind of just floating around and doing their shit, and then it's almost like they knew that they'd been seen.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. Yep, I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and I know that people have said that, but it's true. It's like, oh, we've been spotted. Might as well put on a show, and it's just, I know that seems to be a common thing, that once they're kind of seen, they're like, oh, right, we've been spotted, we'll do our thing. But it was like that. It was just, they were just floating about, and then there was like, oh, and then they started doing their thing. So just bizarre, just to add another log to the weird fire that is my life.
There you go.
So I leave you with one last story. I have a load of them. There's one in particular. I don't know if you guys are. I know you were saying it was difficult to get interviews and stuff. There's one that it would take, like, I wouldn't do it justice on a phone call like this. But it deals with fairies and time slip and links in with missing 411 and just ghosts, and like it has everything, and it was lasted about 7 hours in total.
Wow. So
if you ever guys get back up doing the interviews again, I would love to sit down with you for an hour and give you
absolutely.
It has loads of stuff. But just kind of one last wee little story is, so as I said, we live in the west of Ireland. We live in quite a rural spot, and this happened about 3.5 months ago. Finding it hard to sleep. I go through bouts of insomnia, but one night I was finding it hard to sleep, and I was kind of tossing and turning, and was just trying to get comfortable. And just at about 3:30 in the morning, similar time to this, I heard the sound of children laughing outside in the back garden.
Nope. No.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it was like definitely 3 or 4 different laughters, like, and it didn't sound sinister. It was just like kids running around laughing, chasing each other, that sort of kind of happy laughter. 15 seconds or so, it was just kind of continuous, stopped, and I was like, okay, I'm not fucking looking. And then it started again, and I was like, this can't be, because we live in the middle of nowhere. There's a lock gate at the front, there's a lock gate at the side of the house, there's a big fence around the back. Nobody could get in. So I plucked up the courage and pulled the curtain and looked outside, and there was nothing there at all. And as soon as I pulled the curtain, it stopped.
Yep, they can stay outside.
Yeah.
They can stay the fuck outside.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not dealing with that shit.
It was just like, I didn't go opening the window, I didn't go shouting or anything like that. I just pulled the curtain to see if there was that, and there was nothing.
Nope.
And I haven't heard it since.
Yeah, that would have been my reaction. Nope, stay the fuck outside, little weird intergalactic children.
I'm not inviting Anthony, so.
Oh man, yeah,
But
I'm not trying to hear that shit.
But just because I prefaced that with the bigger story that I'd like to talk to you guys about, so where the bigger story happened is in a place, it's literally 5 minutes drive from my back door. It's called Knocknashee, which means, so that's the Irish, in the English that means Hill of the Fairies.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shoot
We're gonna have to talk about
email. Yeah,
we're
shoot
gonna
us
talk
an
about
email. Title it that, or title it something, whatever. Let us know in the email that it's you, and then that way we at least have your contact information, and we'll go from there. We're definitely trying to figure out where we can get this set up.
Link up some time zones.
Yeah. No, and just to kind of whet your appetite further, on top of Knocknashee, there is 2 burial tombs.
Oh, damn.
Burial tombs.
Yeah.
So
the plot
thickens.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said the plot thickens.
It does. But yeah, no, I'll drop you guys a message and see if we can talk something up.
Absolutely.
But just in the meantime, so Kyle, I kind of sent you that link to that other podcast site. Okay. On Instagram.
Yeah.
I give you the login details and stuff that I have. So
gotcha.
There was a recent. I don't want to go naming it, but there was a recent interview with a guy called Joshua Cutchin, who has done a series of books about Fae and otherworldly people like that. It's a very good interview to kind of check out. The current book he has is called Ecology of Souls, and it's a link between Fae folk and possible links between them and death omens, or do they help transport souls to the next life or whatever like that. So it's very, very interesting listen, but it would kind of feed into some of the stuff that we can talk about at another time.
Yeah, right on. I'll have to check that out.
Cool. Anyways, I will let you go because I've been talking your ear off for too long.
It's okay.
But thanks a million for taking my call. And just one last thing, I just, as I said, I've binged all your stuff from the start. I've listened to every episode now, and I just wanted to commend you guys and just say how you should be proud of what you've achieved to this point. Like the difference in even the way that you talk and interact from episode 1 and 2 to now is like light and day. So, like continued success, continue what you're doing, because obviously it's proven successful. But yeah, no, you should be proud and congrats on everything you've achieved so far. And I can't wait to see what happens going forward.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to us, man.
Yes, we appreciate that. It's good to hear.
But yeah, so I'm going to log off here because I got to get up for work in 3 hours.
Trying to get some
I'll
sleep
say good
in.
night. I'll try. I'll say good night and good luck and stay safe.
You as well, brother.
You too, brother.
Good night now. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Oh man,
Hollow
what a
Cult
trip!
Worldwide.
What a trip! I love it, dude.
I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to interrupt him. Where his UFO sighting coincides with his implant issue. So, like, if it was post implant, how that goes? You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's weird that post implant he gets a job with the DoD.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe that's why he got the job.
Kind of what I was wondering a little bit.
Mhm.
Not that you don't have the skill sets, my guy, because I'm sure that you do.
Yeah.
It's just a weird quink-a-dink is all.
What else was I thinking? Man, I'm here for the fairy story though. We'll have to.
Hell yeah. We don't hear enough of those stories.
UFO sighting was before the implant.
Well, once again,
Interesting. Almost like they know that you knew. Oh, I saw something in the chat here. Damn, let me see if I can find it. It was a ways back here. Here we go. About the UFOs moving in different shapes and shit. Mystic Ethos says, I've seen documentaries claiming that these are star maps that they're doing in order to tell us of their origin planet.
Whoa, that's fucking cool.
That is fucking
I get behind that. I really do like that.
About 4 years before the implant. That's so weird. I'm curious about the void in the chin. And on that note, my mother did get the disc with the images. Yeah, but she's gonna have to take it back to work and email it to me because I don't have a disk drive. So
I got one.
She's got the CD. She said she was gonna try to email it to me tomorrow. So
that works.
That will probably be posted up on the socials, Hollow Cult. Because she's starting to, ever since she brought it up and started to go public, she's starting to have issues with it. She woke up and she was
cool.
swollen and something else is going on.
Robin, I was doing you a solid by not talking about it. I advised Steve, let's not talk about it. And then you chimed in and now they're pissed.
She just threw it. Dark Squatch, I work in surgery. My mom does too, interestingly enough. I think between the two of you, you can
get it figured out.
But it's
you think if we just took my shot back and put it over her nose and turn it on, we could just suck that 100%. Bad boy right out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We'll just have to sift through the shot back. I mean, I guess I could empty it out prior to the DIY surgery, but we'll figure it out.
I mean, it worked for the Egyptians. They just suck shit out through the nose, right?
I mean, I think that was brains. Right?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they went at the brain that way.
I heard, speaking of Egyptians, but not totally speaking of Egyptians, speaking of ancient humans, I read a stat, which it's an internet stat, so nobody really knows if they're true or not, but it said like modern man, take that for what you will, is like 140,000 years old or some shit. Probably, I'm sure it goes way back farther. Let's for this story, for this tidbit of information, modern man is 140,000 years old.
Okay.
So it took us 140,000 years to create flight, the first flight. After that, it only took us 60 years to get to the moon.
Well, assuming we actually went to the moon.
Yeah. Assuming we weren't
for a new day.
Assuming we weren't there already. Assuming we weren't there 100,000 years ago.
Yeah.
That timeline doesn't add up, Kyle.
No, I'm not good at math. So none of it adds up to me.
You're telling me 140,000 years, we were just a bunch of dumb nerds, and then we turned into smart nerds? over 60,000 years.
She gets it.
The moon's not even real. 100% they hired Stanley Kubrick to do it, to fake it. He was too much of a perfectionist, so he just flew everybody up there.
You think we could hire somebody to fake us landing on the moon?
Yes.
Right on. Let's do it.
100%.
It's gotta look legit though, like you and me are there. And then we need a famous quote. We're gonna have to think about a famous quote because you have to have a famous.
The cult.
I like it. We'll just use our fingers and write it into the moon.
Let's buy the moon and make it a Holosky billboard.
I'm pretty sure that you could buy the moon back in the day. Actually, we could probably redo that because we'll have to look into that. We'll look.
We need to
into
put
that.
pieces of the moon up for sale.
They've
on
already done
the
that
website.
shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't.
I know we could just take the plots and then resell it in our name.
Who owns the goddamn moon?
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody. Me.
If that's the case, then I'll just sell Uranus. Let the puns unfold.
I don't know if that's legal around here.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the planet.
Oh,
the planet.
Copy
Come on, guys.
Copy that.
Come on now.
But I mean, who's gonna stop me from selling you 1 square inch of the moon, $5? Who's gonna stop me? I'll send you a piece of paper that says you hereby own 1 square inch of the moon.
That's literally what they did.
Yeah.
They came up with a fake plot and they're like, they just made up these numbers on the moon and it was like, this is plot 1, 2, 3, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm not even gonna do that.
They'd be like, Steve, they'd send you a picture and be like, Steve, you own plot 3.
Good.
Assuming you bought it.
I'm gonna build a UFO there.
You're gonna build a UFO there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What else would you do on the moon?
I don't know.
Bro in the chat owns fucking Pluto already.
Bounce around.
You can buy land on the moon, however it falls under the Homestead Act. Who decided that?
I don't even know what the fuck that means, so it doesn't matter.
Who put an act in order?
Do things count if you don't know them?
No.
That's what I thought.
Who put something? Who let the government decide on who owns outer space?
They just had the best idea ever. No. Correction. We don't need a rocket or a camera. All we need is a giant potato cannon and a flag, and we'll shoot that thing up there like a dart.
You know, that flat earther dude tried to shoot himself with a rocket and he died.
That didn't go very well.
He did not prove that the earth was flat, but he did prove that it was very hard when he landed.
Yeah, that sucks.
R.I.P. Flat Earth guy.
That sucks.
I mean, I don't know. Do you feel sorry for people doing dumb shit?
No, not always. No.
But hey, it's
sometimes the answer is obvious.
I think
you know what's going to happen.
I think America gave the Dutch a piece of moon rock that turned out to be regular old Earth rock. Maybe all of moon is Earth.
Probably.
Yeah, hollow moon, hollow sky, hollow Earth.
Yeah, I'm a prophet, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, you knew it. You didn't know you knew it.
I wouldn't go that far.
You did.
I mean, I'll take credit for sure. Don't get me wrong. I'll take the credit, but yeah.
That's the gift of Jericho.
The walls of Jericho.
Chris Jericho owns the moon. We
should get him on the show.
He would probably come on. He talks about weird shit on his pod sometime.
Well, let's get after him.
I think that was the podcast that Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, went on to talk about his Chupacabra incident.
Cool. We should try.
If anybody has any connections with Chris Jericho, let's see if he wants to come on and talk metal and talk weird shit.
That'd be dope.
So Chris Jericho now owns the moon. That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad we've established that.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be put in the walls of Jericho.
Oh, that would suck.
My back's not great,
That would suck.
but that's neither here nor there.
Agreed. It's about quitting time.
Camel clutch will make them humble. That is fact. Lion salt. We are back to wrestling. Okay. All right. So it's almost 10 o'clock here in Illinois. And it's going to be hot tomorrow. So that's not
2
cool.
hours.
That's actually the opposite of being cool, being hot. Thanks for everyone that hung out. Make sure to like and share and subscribe and turn on your notifications for the night shift. Thanks for everybody that kicks it here in the chat. Thanks for all the donations. You guys are lit.
It is much
We appreciate
appreciated.
you so much. Again, support all independent, weird content creators across the board. Just do it. We're all putting in hard work. We're all putting in the time to bring you all wonderful, thought-provoking content that we do. But yeah, it's good to see everybody in here. It's cool. Good to see Burton back. Hope all's well. Yeah. Just be cool. So until next time, you know the drill. Check us out at all social medias and stay safe, stay weird, and I will sell you a chunk of the moon for probably about $4.99. Depends on how I'm feeling.